Hello everybody and welcome back to Mountain Blade 2 Bannerlord and the Aserai 1000 Day Challenge. Happy birthday for episode 25. As of the recording of this video, I just got Tony's message about 1.5 being messed up. Something like none of his keys work in battle, so I don't know if he means any key on the keyboard or if it's function keys, because I know they did change a lot of things around. So the good news is that I made the right call at not upgrading to 1.5 and immediately starting something else. I am still sitting on 1.4.3, and I'm going to finish out the series. I won't get it done to this day, and I'm not sure if I'll get it done on Thursday. So it might be not until Friday before I actually upgrade. But I'm hoping on the weekend that I can start releasing 1.5 fighting content. Now, therein lies the problem is I don't know if I want to run every second of it. I'm still conflicted about doing that. Showing absolutely every second, because I think once I get to my grinding stage of grinding out EXP, I don't know if that's going to be too much for people. I don't get really a lot of feedback on that. But what I will literally do is I'll spend 3, 4, 5 hours just grinding off of looters. And that's to get bow and riding EXP. Because as I've explained, you get a lot more experience when the focus points are way up. And way up, I mean, once you start hitting the 150 range, you get a lot of EXP. A ton of it. Just like right now, I get a ton of experience out of trade. I don't get hardly anything out of bow. You won't get much leveling out of bow. But out of trade, that's a lot of EXP sitting there. And I still have all of that. And you can see I'm level 21. This goes back to what I said in my video. Just pick about 8 skills you want to focus on and only focus on them. And you'll have no problem leveling your character. I mean, you look at all I have in this. Look at all that experience sitting there. How many levels is that right there? And that's easy to do. And I could still put a point into each of them. So, you know, it's like just... And that's what I do. I mean, I'm very methodical in the way that I play the game. And I don't mind making 1,000, 2,000 day playthroughs when I'm trying to take over the world or longer. I have no problem doing it. I actually enjoy playing the game. I enjoy building them up. Not everybody does, but I think I might go ahead and do that. Play every second of it. And I'll give people the option. I know I do have reservations about naming them. I know a lot of people do it, and I have named episodes. However, I don't actually think naming an episode is good, because it kind of, you're giving it away. You're not surprised. Like in one of my playthroughs, I had it was like a 1,300 man battle. And I think at the end, only 9 people were left standing. So you kind of give that away, and okay, here's the battle. Oh, here he goes. And there's only going to be 9 people left. We already know. So, I mean, I could put a generalized, but never leave anything specific. And I might do that. And then that will give people the opportunity, if they want to watch the whole thing, they can watch the whole thing. But they know if they say, okay, he's grinding looters in this episode, then not watch it. Or as far as the looters are concerned, I might not even do that. I might get rid of that point. I don't really think I would want to record 4 to 8 hours worth of just farming looters. And that's for my companion's EXP. I don't think I would really want to record that. So I might skip that. It would be nice if I could actually pause, but right now my pause function is turned off. I think I could turn it back on. A little bit there, a little bit there. We need to get rid of more. We're just not getting rid of enough still. And it'd be nice if I could come up to a town that's sieged. Is anybody even sieging anything? Oh, the Empire's gone. So, 4 factions left. The game starts with what? 8? Half of them are gone. At 750. Alright, they don't have really good prices here. Oh, they got hardwood prices. They got prices to buy. However, I'm right now not in a buying mood. This is going to be the hardest part right here. Where you can actually get grain potentially for like 7. That's tough to do. How's our overweight status? We're down to just a 0.26 from being at weight. And then we'll start selling off our herd as well, which will help us increase speed. Not a whole lot left to go. Look at that. Not even 3 grand. Not even. $9. Good. I'm not forced into buying it, thinking I have to buy it. Do want to buy that though. $20 is a bit low. $1,100 not good. Like I said, what it feels like right now is that the exact root problem that the hot fix on August 11th has occurred, in which they said prices are more spread out. I feel it's the exact opposite. As you can see, prices are really close together. There's a lot of towns where I can't even make a profit. And we're talking, this is stuff that I bought 300-400 turns ago, days ago. And I still can't make that much of a profit off of it. After 400 days, you should be able to start making, look at this. First 3 things I can't make a profit. The rest of it's actually not too shabby. This actually isn't that bad. But I used to see quite a lot of fish. I could sell it at 30. I don't hardly see that anymore. I used to be selling it to a couple places in the Empire. But it's really not there anymore. I don't think the economy is correct. I really feel that way. I wish I would have kept some of that playthrough of, I wish I would have really had that playthrough going. And I wish I would have kept it so you could actually see what I was talking about. I'd come up through here, and Poros almost always needs grain. They'd be buying at 15 to 20 on grain. And I'd be able to sell fish in here for a lot of times 15 to 20. And there are times at 30. You don't hardly see that anymore. You really don't. I'm realistically scraping by on very low profits right now. It shouldn't be that way. Especially for an Aserai. Because we naturally get a reduction to our barter penalty. And take a look what our trade is. Trade penalty reduction. 40%. And we naturally get one at, what, 10% or something like that? I don't know, 10, 15, 20%, whatever it is. I mean, that's insane to think about, and we're not really making a big profit. Fish at 10 is super low. Yeah, all over for 10 and 11. Can't really let that go. Beer we'll be able to get rid of, but this time we're going through Empire territory. Everything else we could practically sell some. Oh, come on, why are you going so slow? Alright, I'm stopping there. I did not have much to buy. Really, all that hybrid build is not running the cavalry so much. And what it's going to come down to is doing a lot of extortion by deserters. Although it looks like they added a step into it. So I haven't tested that out yet. I got to test out the new extortion by deserter. It might not be waiting in line, waiting at a town and just letting them come to you, killing them off and being done. I don't know what the extra step is. I don't know if it's now you actually have to go to a different. I don't know what it is, or that you can't do it in town. So I'm not. I don't know what that's going to be, but it's doing them and also taking out any looter parties or bandit parties that could potentially cause problems. That's really what the hybrid style is. You're doing both at the same time. So you make a lot of money off of actually fighting as well. However, if you want to save time, and I do it quite frequently, then I will actually go ahead and sim it. Sim a lot of the battles. Because most of what you're going to have is a bunch of tier 1s and tier 2s. And when you're doing extortion by deserters, you're going to hold on to all the cavalry. I hold on to the tier 3 and under cavalry. Now over. I want to keep my costs low. So you're going to get cavalry from doing that. And you're going to get a lot of cavalry. So all you're going to be doing is just picking up tier 1 troops. They're going to be your cannon fodder. And you can go ahead and go into tactics and raise this for your battle simulation advantage. So, you know, of course it's not great. I mean, it's 1% for every 10, so even getting it up to 100, you're only going to get a 10% advantage, which, not very special, but I guess it's something. I am very happy about scouting, though. Scouting could be my new steward. Look at my scouting. Between scouting, steward, easily raisable early game. And then, of course, by doing social, you're going to get like 100 to 130 trade. These are going to hit close to 200 each. And then with your riding and your bow, every one of these is going to be super high. And that's going to allow you to level. There, it's like, come on. There's that hesitation again. I haven't actually tried to see how high I can level, but we are going to find that out in the next playthrough. Because I will be running only about 7, 8, 9 skills or whatever, and they're going to get up high. That is going to be, I mean, we're going to be looking at pushing over level 30. Because we're also going to get a bunch of charm and a bunch of leadership. I'm not sure what I'm going to do about roguery. That is something I have to decide because I do love doing roguery. So I'm going to have to end up figuring that out. Okay. Cheese is getting low. We could start getting really picky on the cheese. We don't have to get rid of it as much. Alright, we got that done. Now we'll head down. Grab over to Zionica, over to Poros. Probably... I'm thinking we're going to stay south and go right back through Aserai territory and go up north. I don't think we're going to go up here and grab this. Might have some stuff for us. Not grain. Ah, there we go on the fish. That's what I like to see. 31. Now butter we can get rid of, but cheese is something that we really can't. Make some good money off of this one. $9,000. $199. Let's hope Poros is good now, like it used to be. Almost leveled again, be 22. And I showed you all that green I got for charm and leadership still. So much green sitting there just waiting, levels. I don't know if working that is like 24, 25 level. I don't know. There's still a ton sitting there. Come on, have some green. Fish, 14. Grain, 10. They always need grain in my old playthroughs. Almost always I could sell it for 15. Alright, sorry about that little cut in there. Interruption by the wife. I still have a sumpter horse. How do I still have a sumpter horse? I felt that in the battle. I don't get it. I thought for sure I had switched that out in one of the episodes. Okay, let's see what we were up. Let's get back to what we were doing. I had to try to get back on track. An interruption by the wife is never a good thing. So now I got to try to get back into the mood of what I was doing, and we need to dump a lot of stuff still. And really it's going to come down to that grain and fish. That is going to be the biggest thing. I don't know if I'll hit 200 on this one. Although it really doesn't matter. It's not a huge deal. 200 is not a big thing. However, I think we will go north. Just because I think Botania took... No, that's a Kuzite. The Kuzites took that over. I thought the Aserai had taken it over. And I should be watching for sieges. You can get first in there. There's a chance to make 10 to 20,000. Not much grain, a little bit. A little bit of grain, little bit of fish. We can get rid of. Will help bring that number down. We're not trying to lose too much on this deal, though. We still look for really that. So see, that is an amazing price. That is worth buying up. because we'll be able to sell that at a good price. Even the cheese is technically good. Actually, we need all the cheese right now. That we're actually low on. Wine at 40. Hardwood at 9. So, yeah, if you see amazing deals, then, yeah, you grab them. We're going to struggle to sell everything, but it still is going to be profit. It only takes one good town to get sieged or something, and you can end up selling off over 1,000 grain and 500 fish like nothing. We're down to a 0.25 penalty, which I think that's what we were at, weren't we? Huh. And I don't want to really buy any horses. I mean, there were some that were cheap. However, I think I got enough. We just really need to get rid of some of that grain, but it's like, are you kidding me? Every place we go to is sitting around 10. Everybody magically has around 10. No, they should fluctuate. That's the problem that I have when I say the economy is not right. Prices should fluctuate from town to town. And that means grain and fish. But when virtually every town has grain and fish for the same price, that's not realistic. It's like in the United States. The further south you are, the less it costs for gasoline. Because you're closer to where the oil is. And it doesn't cost as much to ship it. So it should be the same philosophy. When caravans have to take goods, they're obviously going to want to sell it at a higher price so they make money. They're not going to sell it at a reduced price. You know, it's supply and demand. And not every town should have the same. At least that's how I feel it should go. And that's what I've been pushing for. Obviously, a town like Aserai that has 3 places supplying it with grain is going to be cheap. But if you take a town that has no grain production close by, then they should need to get that shipped in constantly. So they should naturally be paying a higher price to get it, and therefore they're selling it at a higher price. I just think prices need to be stretched out. I don't know what the magic number is, 10, 15, 20%. I don't know what it is. But you kind of get that right now where you can get cheese and butter off into the right part of the map. However, they need grapes and olives. But then you go over to Britannia, they need the cheese and the butter, but they have a bunch of olives and grapes. That's how it should be. And here we go. Once again, another town sitting at 10. It's like nobody needs food anywhere. And we're supposed to have inflation as well. This is show 8 is red. That means I paid more for all my grain than 8. And that's what I want to see changed. I want to see a little bit more price fluctuating. It doesn't need to do it a lot, but I think 20% isn't bad. Because 20% of 15 is only 3. That means it would fluctuate from 12 to 18. That's not a huge price. So I don't think that's bad. Why can't we get closer to a 20% fluctuation in prices? That would allow traders to really do well. Nobody's going to tell me that patch spread prices out. Nobody's going to tell me that. They're not spread out. As you can see, virtually every town we're going to has grain for between 8 and 11. Everybody. Everybody in the entire world has 8 to 11 grain. Shouldn't be that way. 200. Which, normally what I do is I pick the one that gives grain. Although I believe that's a governor only. Yeah, that's governor only. So this doesn't even really matter for you. They got to rework these. Because they're giving them 2. One is a personal, like these here. We'll go to writing. You got one that is always for you. And then you got one for something specific. Well, that's what they need to do here. This is for a governor. and then you get a specific one yourself, and that's what they're working on, which is nice. So you'd actually spread these out between your governors. In fact, that's what I think kind of you could have your kids doing. If you're playing a long game, you could have them work up their stewards so they could become governors, unless, of course, you already have somebody as a governor. You know, once I've already said this, once they get everything fixed with your wife being able to keep her stuff and getting all the noble bulls and heavy executioners access back in, then I just take what wife I can get. If it's not a noble and it's just somebody that is going to be a governor, well, I'll live with that too. But until they get that fixed, oh no, I'm going to be loading and reloading the game. I'm not going the entire game with... I live for those, because that's mainly what I play as a horse archer, and most all my playthroughs. And it's because I love bows. I have... What my normal setup is I have my bow, I have my 2 quivers. Late game, I switch out of tournament arrows. I'll use stacked bodkin arrows, not piercing. They're 1 less damage, but they give you 8 more arrows per quiver. And then I'll have a heavy executioner's axe. That's my setup. I do actually want to try polearm. Maybe what is that? A short bill. They have the regular bill and the short bill in Volandia, and one's a polearm and one's a 2-handed. Is it sword? I think it counts as a sword. That you have to know that because you have to know that for your 2-handed perk. Your level 50 perk, I believe it is. Grain 8. You look at the prices. Oh, these are 15. Are you? By the time I get over there, do you think Akala... Is that Akala? Yeah. So you're telling me if I go to Akalot right now, it's going to be 16. Altengard is going to be 18. Which Akalot is not far out of the way. I'm really close. Okay, so they're saying it's 16. Uh-huh. I'll be shocked if it's 16. I could see 13. Attacked. Long knife gains a level. Okay. Decision time. I think we bring him in. We're still 230 days out. I say we bring in Long Knife. I was waiting to see. I guess he didn't get captured. He's got a level on him. Bitter Drought's about to level. That's going to pump him to 130. We're still far enough in, we can do it. Once you start hitting about 900, then you're like, no. We'll still be able to pull Bitter Drought as well. Alright, so they said 16 here. Uh-huh. Whoa. Well, it's, what is it, at 15? So for me, they were going to buy at 12. I thought I was supposed to get a better barter penalty. So you're saying my incredible huge barter penalty only offers a 3 reduction? A 3 reduction off of this? Okay. I'm a little confused. How is it 12 and 12 per grain? They match. However, fish is 18 and 15. Butter is 26 and 22. Why is this the same? It's like it didn't update. Huh. I'm a little stumped on that one. It says 12. I don't know why. I guess I'm going to need to pay close attention to that. That should be saying like about 16. It says it's 11. The same price. You would think that's what your barter penalty would have, or barter. Barter should be pushing the numbers further apart. No, that would bring them closer together. These numbers would get closer together as your barter penalty gets reduced. You'd be able to buy and sell at the same price. So it's like grain is now even, but everything else isn't. I'm not sure if that's what the barter penalty is doing now. Because grain is such a low price, I guess I'll assume that. Alright, let's head down to Odka and check out their price. I want to see what their price is. That's intriguing. As you remember the last episode, we started with just under 1 million. We went up to 1.1. We're now sitting at 1.2, over 1.2 million. We're gaining over 100,000 an episode now. Like I said, the last half is where it really... Okay, there's 10 and there's 8. So that's actually better. That looks closer to 15 and 12. That's better to a barter penalty. As our barter penalty gets reduced, the prices should come together. But I feel like what the barter penalty is doing isn't changing this. It's changing this. It's bringing the selling price a little bit closer. So you can actually buy at good prices, but you can't sell at good prices. If that makes any sense to anyone. Which, it might not have put it the best way. There we go. There's our clay. I do want to buy that clay. Alright, so we're going to Hussenpolk. What does the traders have something on them? No. No news on them. I was curious if a trader was there and what the price would be. And this is why I say there needs to be a wider gap in the money. Because if I buy at, let's say, grain at 8, that means they're naturally buying, or they're selling it, or let's just say they're buying it from you. You're 8, and if you walk into a town and they've got it for like 12, you're going to make virtually no profit because of the barter penalty. As you can see when we get in here, they're actually buying it at 10, so they'll only buy it from us at 8. So to make any profit, we would have really needed to buy this about 6. And that's like the lowest end possible. So that's why I say the prices need to be further apart, and they're not. But I just feel like I'm going to have a really difficult time getting them to understand that. It just sucks because of the language barrier. They're from Turkey, and that is the problem that I run into. Really, really freaking bad. They don't 100% comprehend, and I don't know how well Google translates. I know they're not perfect at it, But I would think that they should be able to use Google to translate it into Turkish, and that it should be pretty similar to it. I don't know if they do that, if they use Google Translate. I know not everything does, especially emotions and stuff like that, don't normally translate well. Just like, what is it? Kiss in, I can't remember if it's Puerto Rican now, is Mama. And in Mexican, I believe it's Chupa. So they have different dialects. And Turkish actually does have different dialects of their language. I actually looked it up. Because I wanted to send Mexico a message in his own language. And I wouldn't think that they use the other dialect. I think it's maybe a little bit like how Americans speak from Southern American to Northern American, then from Canadian to Northern Canadian. The language is very huge when you go from that. I mean, just going up, what is it, maybe 500 to 700 miles can completely alter the language. Maybe 500 is a little low, maybe 1,000 miles. You go from, the southern, not all the way southern, but the southern part of the U.S., and you go up to the northern part, into southern Canada. But once you hit northern Canada, oh my word. It's kind of like England as well. When you go further north in England, oh my word. I can't even understand what they're saying. I have no clue. Okay, here we go. Finally, we got some grain. They're buying at 17, so they're going to buy it from me at 14. So finally, we can get rid of some grain. About time. Ah, and they need fish. That's what I like to see. I really want to get rid of this. Because I want to get rid of that overweight penalty, and then start selling off our horses. Once we can get horses to a good price, we'll start selling them off as well. And that's why I got multiple different types of horses, because obviously mules are more expensive than sumpters, and then sumpters are more important than old workhorses. So obviously you're going to hold on to your old workhorses, even though they carry the same amount. That's where I actually made that mistake I told you guys about, where you want to buy from those villagers coming back so you can buy their pack horses, because it'll actually make you money in the long run. Just like, as you can see, of course you have to do that. The selling price of them, it's cheap here. 44 for a sumpter horse is microscopic. Mules at 48, we're going to be able to sell them off at over 100. So realistically, it's smart to actually buy these. But as you can see, the old workhorses, how cheap they are, they carry the same weight as these. So, it's also something to watch out for at the beginning part of the game. I kind of want to start building up that two-handed in case I want to do something with this build. I mean, I can always convert this over and trying to winning the game sometime. Having leveled accounts already is a really amazing thing, especially if you want to do any type of testing, in which I do. The caravan builds, skills, I do testing at times. So having the right character will help, so I think I definitely do need to work on that. Okay. Now you can see how the mules are expensive. 94. We just bought them at about 50, and they're buying them for 94. Double your money. No, I'm fishing the grain. I will not buy at 12. At 11 I would buy. And I need to check the time. I have totally lost track of the time. Yep. I got to remember though. I got to cut that. I cut that part out, and I'm trying to remember if that was about 5 minutes. I got to cut out. It's possible it's about 5 minutes. Like I said, I personally prefer to try to keep episodes under an hour, but I don't like putting them at a half an hour because I've explained how much work it is to actually do an episode. From start to finish, a 1 hour episode takes me over 3 hours to get put up on YouTube. From record, to edit, to render, to upload. Is literally over 3 hours for one episode. So when you see 2 episodes come up on YouTube, that means I spent 6 hours to do that. And that's a lot. However, you can go ahead and take an hour episode, and that actually cuts some time out. Because now I don't have to edit 2 episodes, I can edit one of them all at the same time. And then I can also, I do it overnight as well. I do rendering overnight. When I get done cutting up the video in my editor, it takes about a half an hour to an hour to actually splice it all together. So overnight, I'll actually let it run an episode. Here we go again. Look at the price of mules. And that's what you should be buying over pack mule or sumpter horses, because you can see the price is going to be a lot more. So when you see this, it's like boom. Where you've always seen me buy the lower ones first, and that's because I'm trying to save money, is why I'm doing that. Okay, wow, there we go. Let's get rid of some grain. We are starting, I think, 1.1 million, a little over 1.1 million this episode. We could get close to 1.3 million already. And that's where I mean, not to beat a dead horse, but, you know, 15 episodes ago I said, it's not the beginning where you're going to make it. It's that last part where you're just going to absolutely go crazy. That's too cheap to let go. You're absolutely going to go insane. We're about to hit 1.3 million. We're going to make 200,000 this episode. If there's 10 episodes left, you have the potential to make 2 million right there alone. So, still buy if you can find it at a really, really good price. And I mean really good. Buy it. We're down to what? 35,000. So we got, oh, somebody's in a fight. Oh, somebody's in a big fight. No. No, 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 no. Oh, you idiot. I forgot about Long Night. Oh, it's crap. Oh, my word. How could I forget about him? Damn it. Oh, it pisses me off. That's him fighting in a tournament. Jeez. Oh. Not at 8. Under 8, I'll buy. He's probably all the way over in Kuzite territory. I totally forgot to pick him up. Damn it. And I gotta look and see where he's going out of. Oh man, I can't believe I did that. Alright. I'm an idiot. I'm a massive idiot. Ortesia. Right here. Such an idiot. Oh, thank you so much. Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you. They put him there. He's not that far away. Oh, thank you. I didn't want to have to travel all the way back and around in the damn circle. But that's me just not thinking. And You could probably count how many mistakes I've made this episode. Quite a few. I make mistakes. I make mistakes all the time. You could probably point out a mistake I've made every single episode. You could point it out. But I think when it comes down to it, I think I'm showing it pretty well what a trader can do. And as you can see, I'm just sitting back and relaxing. It's not like I'm in some big battles and I have to concentrate or get taken prisoner. No. I have my 64 troops. Virtually nothing's going to touch me. The only way I'd ever get anything bad happening to me is if, which I've had happen once. I think only once I've ever had happen. A minor clan actually declared war on my clan. Early in the game. I was shocked when it happened. But that only happened once. Besides that, you got nothing to worry about. Just sit back and relax. Let's hope he hasn't moved. Oh, are you kidding me? Poros. Now he's all the way over in freaking Poros. Alright. I know what we're going to do. We're going to go backwards. We're going to go backwards this way because then we'll drop him off in Ortesia and then we'll head up and around. Although I'm only going to be able to pick him up and probably get to Ortesia, and I'm going to have to stop. Because we're going to be done with this episode. But like I said, I want to keep them right around the 45 to 50 minute mark. I like that time frame. And you can always pause it and come back to a video later. I mean, it's like a whole story going on, so it's not like each episode contains something specific. You're not really missing out on anything. I personally like longer videos. For me, I do. There are some people that I've watched on YouTube that I wish they would have made their videos longer. And the person that comes to mind to me immediately, I don't know how many people will recognize the name, Mr. Gigi. He made some videos on To Catch a Predator, and I thought they were absolutely amazing. I loved them. And if you're really young, you probably might not remember too much with Chris Hansen. But he only had his episodes like 15, 20 minutes long. And he would get hundreds of thousands of views on those. That made him famous. That helped make him famous, I should say. That didn't solely make him famous. But he could have put those episodes at an hour long and people would have watched them. I loved it. And like I said, if you can always just pause it. It literally saves your place for you. So you can come back to it later. Let's head over to Poros. We'll pick him up. Zayanica, Ortesia, and we'll be done with this episode. And then we'll see where we're sitting at. 3,100. Jeez, that's terrible. And look at what we're at. 1.32 million. We're getting almost more than 200,000 an episode now. Could it be in another 5 episodes we're going to start making 300,000 an episode? How would you feel making 300,000 dinars an hour? That's really what we're running at. Oh, let's make sure he's here. My brother's here? Either my brother or my family's here. Okay, let's make sure we got him good to go. Bitter drought just leveled. Jeez, Pete. I gotta figure out where she needs to go. I want to bring her in now. Boom. Alright. Bitter drought goes Saiyan. Perfect. We're gonna get her done in Valandia. We'll drop her in Valandia, that way we'll pick her up and drop her back off to go in Botania. Poros. This gets to me. I always used to get grain and fish. I always be able to sell here. I wonder if it's because of no wars going on. That could be it. Because you got to remember, at the beginning of the game, you got all three Empire factions running around buying stuff. But now, you don't have that. The front lines are really up here. So not as many people are in here. So the prices aren't, I think, really varying. That could be it. Personally, like I said, I would like to see less warring going on, like in Warband, and I would rather see them make it so that armies aren't created as much, so lords can actually patrol their lands. I like that better than watching 2-3 armies running around all over the place virtually all the time. I actually like that much better. I don't know why we got to have so many armies all over the place all the time and everybody's constantly warring. Alright, we will hit here. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop her when I get to probably Praven. And then that way she'll be somewhere in here. Because we're going to send her, she's at Sanon. We can actually send her out in Marineth or something like that. But I think that'll work really well. And supposedly they put your family members or parties now will show their face, I guess. How you see that? I'm assuming from the patch notes, your friendly parties, maybe the ones in your clan, will have that as well, so you could see exactly where they're at. I believe that's how I read the patch notes. If that's what I did read, big thumbs up for that. That is nice. There was a 60 there. There's a 46 there. Nobody's getting rid of the looters. That's what I want to see. I want to see them get rid of looters. And I actually did not check the quality of the last video. I should have checked that. I did not think to check that. Because I changed the settings. I hope I didn't mess anything up. I hope these are the same. Definitely. Maybe better. I know I am using a little bit more processor. I was running about 3% on my recording software, and now I'm sitting at about 3.7%, 4%, 5%. Eesh. Gonna have to watch that. That'll hurt the performance, but I guess I'm gonna go ahead and end it here. I do have to make sure to remember that we're gonna grab Bitter Drought because I want to get her going. But over 200,000 this episode. And as you can see, they are now starting to do terrible. They're starting to drop. But all in all, when you look at the trade that these guys got, I think it's pretty damn spectacular. Bitter Drought's going to go up because we're going to grab that. So Bitter Drought will be over 100. But 153, 102, 111, 156, 142. And the Ragged leveled. We got to grab the Ragged as well. Because we can get him one more. He goes out at Askar. So, what I might do in the next episode is we might run down to Askar, which is just down here. Get the Ragged, send him out in Askar, then run up here, and then we'll drop Bitter Drought, grab her, and send her back out to there. I think that's what we'll do. We have a game plan for the next episode. Let's see where we're at. We are at 791. So this is exactly when we want to do it. Is right now. We're sitting 800 days. Wow. Did we actually do 50 freaking days? Geez. Wow. Okay, well. We're almost 800, so this is really the last set out we're going to do, these last two. And then they're going to be out for good. And I think we'll be done with it. Unless somebody really quickly levels. So I will see you all in the next episode. We are approaching 80% through. Take care. And thanks for watching.